Good morning, everybody. Hi there, I'm Lori Winslow, and I am with Rain or Shine Chalk and DIY Design. I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture. This morning, we are not doing any chalk. We are just going to adapt some items I found at the Dollar Tree and Walmart. It's a little bit of craft store-esque leftovers. Some of them are leftovers, some of them are a few pieces I picked up. So let's take a look. So we're going to start with these little Dollar Tree pumpkins. You've probably seen them if you are a Dollar Tree visitor. The Dollar Tree pumpkins come like this. They have this little raffia right here, and I took the raffia off. Hi Thomas, good morning. Good morning guys, nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. So you'll have a glob of glue here, but we're going to cover that up anyway, so I won't worry too much about that. I didn't actually totally dislike this. I think it's still pretty cute. I think I'm going to put my decor on the other side, so I'll have the option to use either side. You know I like double-sided things, so thinking about using that. And then I had some craft paper left over. We used this on the big pumpkin, the big paper mache pumpkin, and I'm going to use it again. Then at Walmart I found these cute little letters that spell out fall, and I thought that would be fun to have these little pumpkins setting up and have them spell out fall. The letters are white, and I kind of like the character of the letters, so I don't want to change it, but when I put it on here I noticed that we don't have a whole lot of contrast. So I'm thinking we might take some of our whatever this is called and put it under the letter and make it kind of pop off that way. I kind of like that layered effect. Changes it up just a little bit. Walmart has, it's burlap, that's what I'm trying to think of. Walmart has this color burlap. I have 3 different colors of it right now. So I've got this dark brown, and I've got the normal color. So I think I might do a mix and match of those colors. And then I want to put some ribbon around the stem. So let's get started on that. So I'm just going to use my handy dandy Mod Podge. As you can see, I finally got a new container of Mod Podge. I was just about to run out of the other smaller container. You can find Mod Podge everywhere. If you haven't used it, it's very easy, very forgiving, nice medium to use. So I'm just going to use a big paintbrush. I just have this big kids paintbrush left over from years of crafting and kids crafting. I'm just going to put a nice generous coat, make sure I get all the way around the edges. I want my paper to really be stuck on there. So this is a very simple project, guys. The Dollar Tree is a great place to check out if you want to do some crafting. There are just so many things that they have that are really worthwhile, and have that are a nice base for a lot of other things that you can create. If you need ideas, Pinterest is a great place to just find tons of different ideas. And a lot of crafters are using Dollar Tree items, so it's a great place to check it out. Alright, so I have a nice coat of Mod Podge. I will work on getting these edges cleaned up so that they're perfect. You can see it's not quite perfect when I cut it. We'll let it dry just a little bit, and then we'll add, when it dries a little bit, I can take my sandpaper and I can just rub across that edge and the extra paper will come right off. So let's let that set up just a little bit. I don't want it to be super wet when I do try that. So I have 4 letters and 3 colors of this, but I think if I use the orange twice, that'll be okay, since orange is definitely a good fall color. And they had these pumpkins in all different colors, and each color had a different expression on the other side. What are you guys up to today, Thomas? You guys have anything exciting going on today? You'll have to show the kids. I put a video on my page, my Facebook page, of a bunny in the garden. He's a tiny little bunny. He's a different kind of bunny than the other ones the kids have seen. So, and he'll just stand close to me. He doesn't seem to be afraid. I don't know if that's good or bad, but he's a cute little guy. And I don't think he's the one that ate the peppers. He behaves himself when I'm watching him. He only eats weeds and grass, which is good. Alright, so I'm just going to Mod Podge these papers right onto the pumpkins. I thought they would look nice together to bring those colors back in. We use these same papers, like I said, on that paper mache pumpkin. So I think it'll look nice, and I like that the sides have a color that coordinates. So that will look nice together too. Make sure you press that down really well. You don't want any air bubbles under there. I've seen people use a rolling pen if they have a big surface that they're Mod Podging. A rolling pen will push out all the air bubbles. And I like that we're cleaning up the back of these pumpkins. I took the sticker off, but they were pretty sticky on the back, so I like that it'll have a nice clean back. Both sides look nice. Okay, and I just laid down my pumpkin on my craft paper and traced around it, cut it out with scissors. It was not difficult. And I picked these 2 prints because one was a large, one was a small print. Hi Christy, good morning. How are you? Glad you're here this morning. Make sure you say hey if you come on in so I know you're here. Sometimes I miss your comments if I'm not looking up. If you're just hopping on, I have some Dollar Tree pumpkins that I picked up that I wanted to do a little embellishment on. They have these little pumpkins at the Dollar Tree right now, and they are pretty cute. I'm not much of a glitter person, but I thought I could do something with them. So I have Mod Podged my paper that I like on the other side. I can see a couple of air bubbles in there, so I am going to get in there and try to get those out. We are going to cover up that area pretty well with our burlap and our letter, but I don't want that to be a problem later if it's bubbling up. Alright, so let's come back to this first one. It's pretty dry. Mod Podge dries pretty fast, and if I just take my sandpaper, you can see that edge is coming off. It's just taking the paper right off so that it's a nice, meets up right next to the edge. It's also going to make it a little bit frayed, which I do like. I like having a little bit of that rustic look. We will have to draw a sprinkle winner today, so make sure you stick around to see if you are the sprinkle winner. Had a couple of friends sprinkle this week, so their names are in the bucket, and they will receive a tea towel from me. So if I pull your name out of the bucket, it means that you SHARE one of my posts or my live video or any of the videos, and that helps my page. Alright, so now we have it's right up to the edges. There's nothing extra hanging over the edges, so it's going to stand nicely. If I have paper over the edge, it might not stand so well. So that'll be really, really cute together. Just wipe off some of that sanding. Alright, and you can see how quickly that went. Like, it didn't take long for it to dry. I was able to get right to sanding. And just sand that paper right off the edge. It's a little bit tacky, but a little bit tacky is okay. You don't want it to be, you don't want to sand it right after you've glued it, like the second after. It's going to affect your paper. You do want to sand down rather than up, so that you're pressing it down against the edge. So if you haven't tried that, it is a good tip to make your paper go right to the edge. I love to do Mod Podge, so it's a good tip. Alright, so there we have it again. We have a nice clean edge. And it looks a lot more high-end. This is cute. Like I said, I don't totally hate it, but I think this looks a little more like something you would find in a higher-end store. Alright, so let's take a look. I've got this burlap that I'm thinking about putting right here so that when I put my letter on top, spelling out the word fall. Thanks, Christy. I love them too. I'm really excited about these cute pumpkins. I'm a sucker for pumpkins, so so I noticed when I was trying to put this together, I felt like the letters got lost a little bit with that print, but I still wanted the print. I just wanted something to break up the color just a little bit, and I'm thinking about just putting a little piece of burlap behind there. Trying to decide if I want this bright orange as one of my options. What do you guys think? You think I need I think I need the color behind them to bring those letters up. Do you guys think if I did the orange under the L, that would be okay since I have 4 letters and only 3 colors? Let's see. Let me see if I have another color. I might have a green. Hang on, guys. Now that I think about it, let me see if I have a green burlap over here in my stash. Oh, I have a blue. What else do I have? I don't know about blue. Do I have red? Oh, I have red. That'll be good. Okay, well, it pays to take a look. Thomas says, yes, orange would work. All right, look what I found, though. Good thing I looked. Looks like I have a little bit of red. So I could cut that to the same size. Ah, all is well in my world. This is good. Okay, so let's work on getting this cut to the right size. So I want a little bit showing above and a little bit showing below. Burlap does tend to ravel really bad. Christy, you like the orange? You could totally do the orange on all of them, couldn't you? And that would look nice. It would unify it, Christy, if you did all one color. But I'm going to do one of each and let you guys see how that looks. And I'll see for myself how that looks. All right, and I think I'm just going to Mod Podge that right down too. I think it'll hold the burlap just fine. Put a little bit of a heavy at the top to make sure it has a good hold. It is holding pretty nicely. It's grabbing pretty well. Well, we are finally getting some blackberries. We have a lot of blackberries on our property, and we're finally getting a good amount of blackberries. I just realized that my hot glue gun's in the other room. Let me grab it, guys. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. So yeah, we have blackberries. I was able to pick a whole basket or a whole big bowl full of them, and I brought them in the house thinking that I would make something because we had quite a few. And then my teenage son found them, devoured them, and I couldn't fault him at all. It is one of those treats that he was like, I couldn't stop. They were just so good. And they were. So I made my first ever rhubarb crisp. My husband loves rhubarb, but I haven't really cooked with rhubarb. And so I made that. And it was so simple. So I have to do that again. And I was so thankful because Christy, you told me that you pick your rhubarb And so it was like, okay, my husband and I weren't sure about the rhubarb. So we went online, read some information about picking rhubarb, and it was giving us information that basically we shouldn't pick it after July 4th. We shouldn't harvest it. And I don't know if that's true or not. It was delicious. We harvested it after July 4th and it was fine. So hopefully we're not damaging our plant or something like that. The article didn't really give a reason about why you wouldn't harvest it after July 4th, but I don't know. So we're totally enjoying this garden. If you have space for a garden, I'm telling you, you really should consider investing the time in a garden. It can cost some money, but it doesn't have to. You can do it very inexpensively. We had a lot of the tools that we needed. If you don't have the tools that you need, check out OfferUp and some of those places. We definitely found tools. We don't need them. That is good to know, Christy. I'm glad to know it will come back. So it may have been a different, it may have been a certain type of rhubarb. I tried to look, I specifically, was asking about here in Washington State when I looked it up, but, we'll live and learn. As long as it's not bad for us. We were able to get the rhubarb from another garden, so... And that's another way to get plants, too. If you have friends who garden, they'd probably be happy to share, like strawberry plants, make new runners, which is one of the wonderful things about strawberries, is that it does create new plants. And I'm always happy to share a few strawberries with the other friends. So if you're looking to start and you want to hit me up for some strawberry plants, definitely let me know. And we're growing some later crops, so we started a lot of lettuce and spinach back in the spring. Oh, I'm excited for you, Christy. It's going to be fun for you to have your garden. But we started lettuce and spinach in the spring, and it just grew so quickly. And our spinach bolted really quickly, which means it went to seed pretty quickly. We didn't get as much of it as we should have. But I think it just started getting too warm. I noticed that we seem to be cooling off a little bit. Our evenings, our nights are getting cooler, which I'm not ready for, but I'm not emotionally ready for the summer to be over or winding down. But yeah, if you're looking to plant a garden, there's lots of ways to do it a little bit less expensive. Our church has a community garden. That's another way to go. Sometimes community gardens have starts. That's where we got our rhubarb starts from. Their rhubarb was needing to be cut, and it was getting too big. It needed to that's a way to prune it, is just to go in and cut the root a little bit. And so that's where we got our rhubarb from. And we grew a lot of things from seed. Some things aren't so great to start from seed. They just take a long time. If you're thinking about planting from seed, you should really consider planting inside in February and March to give your plants a good start. All right, so my red's a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to try to cut just about the same size. I was thinking these might be cute to put some ribbon to hold them together. It was making me think of a Jacob's ladder. I don't know if you guys remember that toy with the wood blocks and the ribbon that goes between them. But I was thinking that might be cute, a cute way to connect them with each other. I didn't do a great job cutting that piece, but we'll go with it. If I want to change it, I can. For my demonstration purposes, we'll just go with it. So this ribbon is not the same size. It's a bigger piece. It's more of a 5.5 to 6 inch wide burlap. Have to play with it a little bit to get it to do what I want it to do. My summer is coming to a close. Not too long. This week I have a couple of meetings for teaching, getting ready. Okay, so I'm gonna try to eyeball these letters. Looks like my red needs to be trimmed just a smidge at the bottom. So if you've been watching, you know that I've been doing this 90-day challenge as a way to challenge myself to start this Facebook page, to give me a good start. The challenge was to try to go live at least 5 days a week, and at first I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that. I didn't know if I'd be able to find enough projects to fill those days, but that really hasn't been that big of a challenge. I've definitely worked at it. It helps that I'm not having to go to a job right now. So as this 90-day challenge winds down, my next I need to be thinking about how I want to proceed once school starts again, how I'm going to make this work, and I think it may just mean that I change my schedule just a little bit. Not exactly sure what that means for the page right now. I definitely want to keep the page. I still want to work at it. I've gone from 0 followers to 300, a little over 300. I had no idea that I'd be able to create a group of any size. So that's been really fun. It's been a good learning thing for me. I've really enjoyed the learning aspect of creating the page, and there's some business sense that goes into reaching out to people and getting views, and I've diversified to include a YouTube page or channel, and so I definitely don't think I'm going to just stop because my challenge is over. I think I've heard the group I'm in, we're going to try to do an Instagram challenge, so that would definitely be a challenge for me. I have just used Instagram just a little bit, so that would be totally different. Facebook I felt pretty comfortable with. Like most of us, I've done some of my own Facebook stuff. I have not done anything with, before I had never done anything with ads on Facebook or trying to get followers, so that was my learning curve. But my learning curve for Instagram would be really big, but that'd be cool too. I mean, in reality, it was pretty big for learning about Facebook in this way. Okay, so I have my cute little pumpkins all lined up. So one of the things I was thinking would be cute would be to take, I don't think I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to kind of wait and see if I want to do it, but I was thinking it would be kind of cute to connect each letter with a little piece of ribbon. So when they stand up, they're always kind of connected to each other, and I think they'd be easier to keep in the upright position if they were kind of held together. Then you could, put some forward and some backwards kind of thing. But let's finish this idea first. So we've got this cute little stem, and when it came, this little pumpkin had a little raffia type bow at the top. And I knew I wanted to take that off and use something different. So I do have this cute cording that has fall color pieces kind of in it. So I'm thinking I will do this and some just regular thin jute and make that for my bows at the top, just to add a little interest. Pumpkins they are a vining type vegetable, and so they do have a little piece at the top like that. I'll have to play around with that a little bit. That one had a little piece, and my sister had mentioned that it might be cute fraying it out a little bit, and I think she's right. I think that would be cute. That'll give me a little more bang for my buck. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us. Glad you're here this morning. All right, so I'll just fray these out a little bit. I like how it's giving me a little more pop of those colors. Those fall colors are sure cute on that frayed. I'm going to leave them that length for the moment, and then I'll decide. And I think I'll just take a little bit of this thin jute cord, and I'm just going to add that to it. I might add it down below so that it adds a little. This kind of gives me the feeling of raffia, but it's not quite as wild as the raffia. Alright, so I just tied a little simple one knot. These are a little wiry, aren't they? I might have to put a little bit of water on the that cording. It feels like it has a stiffener in it. I might have to put a little bit of water to get it to come down a little bit. But I kind of like the look of that. Kind of like dreads. All right, so if you just joined us, these are just little Dollar Tree pumpkins. I said I didn't actually hate the look of this. It's actually pretty cute. I could even turn the I could turn my stuff around and use it the other way if I wanted to. So just like a regular bow, takes a little playing with to get it to look like you want. These are pretty nice because I can see that they have like a wire inside of them. So, oh, Christy, me too. I love summer, but I do love fall. So, I think those are my two favorite seasons. But you know what? Winter will come and I'll say, ooh, I love Christmas, and ooh, I love this, and ooh, I love that. All right, so that's one option for putting something around that stump. Of course, you could always do some little narrow ribbon. I really like this fall color ribbon, so I think I'll do one like that and let you see what that looks like. See if I like that better too. I think it's fun to have a little bit different on each, or have some kind of a repeating pattern. Ooh, yeah, I really like those colors. That's a cute little ribbon. I think it looks like it came from, well, I always get confused about my ribbon. I did buy quite a bit of ribbon from Joann's when they were having their buy one, get three free. It was a great deal. I know I told you guys about that when I learned about it. Oops, sorry. Alright, so that looks kind of cute. Just cute and simple. I could add a little bit of the thin twine. I think that would be cute as well. So I just doubled that over. I'm just going to add a little bit at the top. Let it hang down. Snip that bow part. You can always adjust these little pieces as you like. That might sit better if it was underneath this ribbon, so I might switch those up later. It likes to kind of do its own crazy wild thing. You might be able to tie it again and make it lay down a little bit better. But I kind of like its wild ways. Let's see, let's try this pumpkin ribbon. I'm not sure how flexible it is. If it's stiff, it may not do a very nice bow, but we'll give it a try so that you guys know if that works or not. Oh, it's not really stiff at all. It's pretty flexible, so I think it will. That's a cute little pumpkin ribbon. Try to be selfish with my little cute ribbons. Just use a little of each. So it'll go a long way. And again, I'm just tying a real simple knot around that stem, tying it so that the pattern is on top. You can see it. Cute. always like to do an angle cut or do the dovetailing. I think those are cute. Okay, maybe a little bit more of this so that it's has some uniformity. These crazy strings, I will definitely have to tame those little strings so they're not going so crazy. But I will put a picture up of my finished project, and I'll probably put it with the paper mache pumpkin when I take a picture, because I think I just really like the way these papers will coordinate with those papers. These were the fall side. If you remember that paper mache pumpkin, I had a Halloween side and I had a fall side or Thanksgiving side. These coordinate with the fall side, but you know, I could flip these over on the back and do a Halloween side, and that would be cute too. Very simple, guys. Let's see. The letters came from Walmart. I think they were less than $1 for each letter. The pumpkins were less than $1, and the rest is pretty much bits and pieces. You wouldn't even have to have, you know, seasonal ribbon. You could do it totally with jute, big jute cord, little jute cord. You could even do the raffia bows. They don't look terrible. You could even do your own raffia. Those just looked a little, they're just a little beat, a little beat up from being at Dollar Tree. And boxed and shipped and on the shelf. All right, so we have that. And then I was going to try this this pom-pom. Has a little bit of pom-pom stuff. Thanks, Amy. This is not an original idea, by the way. I've been seeing people use these little Dollar Tree pumpkins in lots of different ways. This is not exactly how the other person did it, but she did something similar, which gave me the idea. I've been seeing these little pom-poms. I've always thought they were cute, but I thought I would get some and give it a try. White's probably not the best color for this particular project, but that's what I picked up. But it's different. It's a cute texture. The Dollar Tree ideas, guys, are everywhere. If you are a crafter, there are people doing all kinds of really amazing stuff actually with Dollar Tree purchases, which I just think is great. It's great to be able to pick up something so inexpensively and do something so creative. Well, that looks definitely different. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that one with the white. I think if I had found some orange or yellow, it would have been cuter. But it's the idea. I wanted you to kind of see those little pom-pom balls are kind of fun. Adds a little something unexpected. I do like finding the unexpected. And to me, just finding cute things at the Dollar Tree is unexpected that I would want to decorate with. Okay, so these will stand up, of course. I have them laying down so you guys can see them. At least I hope you can see them. All right, so super simple. Took us about 40 minutes. Probably would have been a little bit less if you were just focused in doing it without jabbering and sharing other ideas. But anyway, I hope you get out and find some Dollar Tree things. Can be really fun to be creative, come up with some great ideas. Feel free to copy this idea and take it and make it your own. Thank you guys for supporting my page, sprinkling my videos to people that you think might enjoy them. Really helps me out. I have a couple of names in here this week of people who have shared, so I definitely want to share the love with them. All right, Kelly Eilers. Kelly Eilers, you are my sprinkle winner this week. Thank you very much for sprinkling, and thank you to everybody who did sprinkle. I appreciate you guys so much. I will keep putting your name in the bucket. If you have shared one of my videos or one of my posts, I really, really, really appreciate that. And I will get an address from my friend and get that tea towel off to her. So we're doing tea towels as my giveaway. It's the easiest thing for me to be able to ship when somebody doesn't live close to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you get out there and make it a great day, guys. I'll see you soon.